Some roads don't end, they just become memories. I used to leave before attachment, before names turned into plans, before mornings started meaning more than places on a map. I told myself that moving forward meant never turning around, like standing still too long would somehow pull me down. I kept old receipts inside my pockets, old songs inside my head, and every place that almost kept me became another road instead. Until one night you asked me something simple. You said, if you finally found what you've been looking for, would you even recognize it? And I didn't answer. I kept driving past the lights, thinking something waited farther on. Another town, another feeling, another place to belong. I kept driving past the lights, but somewhere in the middle of blue I realized I wasn't looking ahead anymore. I was looking for you, looking for you. Talked about ordinary evenings like they had their own kind of grace, open windows and late conversations, and not needing to escape. You said, maybe life isn't somewhere else, maybe it starts when you stop leaving. I laughed because nobody had ever made staying sound so alive. The fretless bass moves slowly, the piano widened every line, and suddenly all my old reasons didn't fit anymore. Maybe freedom isn't movement, maybe peace is in control, maybe some roads keep getting longer until somebody makes them small. I kept driving past the lights, thinking something waited farther on. Another town, another feeling, another place to belong. I kept driving past the lights, but somewhere in the middle of blue I realized I wasn't looking ahead anymore. I was looking for you, looking for you. I thought distance made me fearless, I thought movement made me whole, but roads only teach direction, they don't teach how to stay. And maybe that's what this was all along. was never a destination. It was someone holding out their hand. Holding out their hand. Finger picked with those one final note. Everything slowly disappears. I still love the road. I just don't need it to feel free anymore. Sometimes you don't realize you're returning until you're already there. I spent years believing distance could soften anything that hurt. Every town became another chapter. Every leaving felt deserved. I learned to travel without questions. Learned to sleep without a place. Learned to wear a quiet smile like nobody could see the weight. I kept old routes inside my memory, old songs I never played again, thinking time would slowly carry everything away. But time doesn't work like that. Then one evening in the middle of nowhere, your name arrived without a sound, and suddenly I wasn't moving anymore. You were never far away, not in the miles, not in the years, not in the silence in between. You were never far away, even when I thought you were gone. You stayed in all the quiet places I kept moving through. All along, all along, all along. You talked about ordinary moments like they were worth protecting. Open windows, unfinished dinners, and nights without directions. You said, maybe people don't lose things, maybe they stop noticing. They're still there. I laughed because somehow that sounded true. The fretless bass moved gently, electric guitar stretched long notes, and suddenly every old goodbye felt softer than before. Maybe freedom isn't leaving, maybe peace is in control. Maybe all this time I've been carrying what I never let go. You were never far away, not in the miles, not in the years, not in the silence in between. You were never far away, for the first time. I know. Waiting patiently for me, waiting for me, waiting for me. Finger pick the guitar, it turns softly. Pick guitar and fingers pick guitar. Sometimes you don't realize you're returning until you're already there. Sometimes you don't realize you're returning until you're already there. I spent years believing distance could soften anything that hurt. Every town became another chapter, every leaving felt deserved. I learned to travel without questions, learned to sleep without a place, learned to wear a quiet smile like nobody could see the way. I kept old routes inside my memory, old songs I never played again, thinking time would slowly carry everything away. But time doesn't work like that. And one evening in the middle of nowhere, your name arrived without a sound, and suddenly I wasn't moving anymore. You were never far away, not in the miles, not in the years, not in the silence in between. You were never far away, even when I thought you were gone. You stayed in all the quiet places I kept. There are nights I don't ask where you've been. I left another town this morning without remembering the street. Coffee cooling in the cup holder, dust collecting on the seat. I used to call that independence, like moving men I couldn't lose, like nobody could disappoint me if nobody got to choose. I learned how to travel lightly, learned how to leave before the rain, learned how to make every ending sound temporary again. But somewhere after midnight, your voice stayed. You never asked me to stop, never asked me what came next. Somebody said you looked tired, and somehow it felt like rest. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I stopped counting miles, stopped chasing every horizon, stopped pretending all the while. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I found something true. And after every road I followed, I kept coming back to you. Back to you, back to you. You talked about ordinary evenings like they were worth remembering. Open windows, old records, and mornings without leaving. You asked, when was the last time you stayed somewhere without checking the clock? I laughed, because I couldn't remember. The electric guitar kept breathing, bass moved slowly underneath, and somehow all my old directions started feeling incomplete. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace is an escape, maybe all this moving was only another way to wait. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I stopped counting miles, stopped chasing every horizon, stopped pretending all the while. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I found something true. And after every road I followed, I kept coming back to you. Back to you, back to you, yeah. Electric could divide over die, nothing lies. I thought I needed movement to prove I was alive, but maybe being alive is opening the door and not leaving the first chance you get. And maybe that's what this is. Somewhere between goodbye and home, I finally understood that not every road is freedom, and not every ending is good, yeah. Somewhere between goodbye and home, if tomorrow asks me where I'll go, I'll say not far, not tonight, because I already know. Already know. Already know. Already know. For years I thought home was a place. Turns out it was a person. Some nights don't try to impress you, they just stay. I drove until the signs got smaller, until the stations disappeared, until the road stopped giving answers and silence finally appeared. I kept old jackets in the backseat, maps folded thin from years of use. Every town became a memory before I had time to choose. People always said, "You're lucky, you can go anywhere," but nobody ever talks about what happens when nowhere feels different. The electric guitar kept moving slowly, like it already knew the truth. And somehow the farther I traveled, the closer I felt to you. Then one evening you said quietly, "You don't have to earn rest." And I didn't know what to say. The night didn't ask me to leave, didn't ask me who I'd been, didn't ask for explanations or where the next road had been. The night didn't ask me to leave, it just stayed and let me breathe. And for the first time, I didn't feel like disappearing, like disappearing. You talked about ordinary mornings, like they belonged in song somehow. Coffee cups and open windows, like right here was enough somehow. You asked, when was the last time you stayed somewhere without counting the hours? I laughed because I didn't remember. The piano opened wider, the organ softened every line, and suddenly all my old reasons started losing time. Maybe freedom isn't movement, maybe peace isn't escape. Maybe I've spent years leaving because staying felt too brave. The night didn't ask me to leave, didn't ask me who I'd been, didn't ask for explanations or where the next road had been. The night didn't ask me to leave, it just stayed and let me breathe. And for the first time, I didn't feel like disappearing, like disappearing. Electric becoming someone who never needed anybody. But maybe that wasn't strength. Maybe strength is staying long enough to be known and not leaving. When somebody finally sees you, the night didn't ask me to leave, didn't ask me to keep running, didn't ask me to stay forever, only asked me to stop. Maybe that's enough. The night can feel this good. Feel this good. Feel this good. Some nights don't try to impress you. They just stay. I drove until the signs got smaller, until the stations disappeared. I drove until the signs got smaller, until the stations disappeared. Until the road stopped giving answers and silence finally appeared. I kept old jackets in the backseat, maps folded thin from years of use. Every town became a memory before I had time to choose. People always said, you're lucky, you can go anywhere. But nobody ever talks about what happens when nowhere feels different. The electric guitar kept moving slowly, like it already knew the truth. And somehow, the farther I traveled, the closer I felt to you. Then one evening you said quietly, you don't have to earn rest. And I didn't know what to say. The night didn't ask me to leave, didn't ask me who I'd been, didn't ask for explanations or where the next road had been. The night didn't ask me to leave, it just stayed and let me breathe. And for the first time I didn't feel like disappearing. Some nights don't try to impress you, they just stay. I drove until the signs got smaller, until the stations disappeared, until the road. I used to think every road had one more answer. I left before the sun most mornings, before the world could say goodbye. Another tank of borrowed freedom, another piece of open sky. I learned the shape of gas station windows, the sound of tires in the rain, how to turn every conversation into something incomplete again. I kept old postcards in the console, the names inside my sleeve, thinking if I never stopped anywhere, nothing could ever leave. But somewhere in the middle of nowhere, your memory caught up. You once said, you always talk about leaving. What happens if one day you don't? I laughed, but I remembered. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before home, but somewhere along the line I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. Never spoken big conclusions, never made forever sound grand. You just talked about ordinary evenings like they were enough to understand. You said, maybe home isn't where you stay, maybe it's where you stop pretending. I smiled because nobody had ever said something so small that felt so true. The fretless bass moved underneath us, the electric guitar stretched through the room, and suddenly all my old directions didn't feel so important. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace isn't escape. Maybe some people stay moving because slowing down feels strange. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before home, but somewhere along the line I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. Like evening becoming memory. I thought the road would finish me, turn me into somebody new. But roads don't remember names, people do. And maybe after all these years I wasn't running towards something, I was running from being known. One more town before home, I don't say that anymore, because not every open highway needs another door. One more town before home, now the answer feels clear. Home was never waiting somewhere else, it was already here. With you, with you, with you. With you. Finger picked to think. Every road had one more answer. I lived to think. Every road had one more answer. I left before the sun most mornings, before the world could say goodbye. Another tank of borrowed freedom, another piece of open sky. I learned the shape of gas station windows, the sound of tires in the rain, how to turn every conversation into something incomplete again. I kept old postcards in the console and names inside my sleeve, thinking if I never stopped anywhere, nothing could ever leave. But somewhere in the middle of nowhere, your memory caught up. You once said, you always talk about leaving. What happens if one day you don't? I left, but I remember. One more town before home, that's what I always said. One more road, one more sunrise, one more place ahead. One more town before But somewhere along the line, I stopped looking at the horizon and started looking behind to you. You never spoke in big conclusions, never made forever sound grand. You just talked about ordinary evenings like they were enough to understand. You said, maybe home isn't where you stay, maybe it's where you stop pretending. I smiled because nobody had ever said something so small that felt so true.
Clean electric guitar opens with gentle and it feels. Piano lands softly beneath the notes. Bass moves like slow breathing. The room feels larger than before. Funny how some places remember you more than you remember them. I spent years driving through sunsets like they owed me something new. Every town became a photograph before I ever knew the view. I learned to leave without explaining, learned to travel light and fast, like staying anywhere too long would make the feeling last. I kept old ticket stubs and receipts inside the glove box of my life, thinking motion meant direction, thinking movement meant life. Then one evening you said quietly, you don't look like you're going anymore. I laughed because I didn't know what someone like me was supposed to do. If leaving stopped working, I was only passing through. Every city, every room, every promise, every summer, every late night afternoon. I was only passing through until I looked and found you there. And suddenly I wanted to stay long enough to care. Stay long enough to care. You never asked about my old roads, I never counted where I'd been. You just made ordinary moments feel bigger than they'd been. You said, maybe home isn't permanent, maybe it's temporary, and that's enough. I smiled because nobody had ever made temporary sound beautiful. The guitar opened into chords, the organ warmed the empty space, and somehow all the roads behind me stopped asking to be chased. Maybe freedom isn't distance, maybe peace isn't control. Maybe I kept moving because stillness asked too much. I was only passing through every city, every room, every promise, every summer, every late night afternoon. I was only passing through until I looked and found you there. And suddenly I wanted thought the road would keep me safe, because roads don't ask for anything, but roads don't hold your hand. Roads don't remember your stories, roads don't leave the light on. People do, and maybe that's what I've been missing. I was only passing through until the night became a place, until somebody looked at me and didn't need me to change. I was only passing through, but now these old wheels feel new, and after every road I follow, I finally found something worth coming back to. Coming back to. Coming back to. Electric guitar returns, piano lands softly underneath, organ fades like evening air. Maybe I wasn't lost, maybe I just never stayed.